YouTube? This is your boy Alex. What's up, YouTube Nation? I know it looks a little blurry. I'm inside the restroom. Normally I'd be outside doing a YouTube video, but you understand it's raining outside. So you're going to have to bear with me. It's not exactly what I have in mind. Um, let's go check outside, see if we get lucky. Nope, guess not. Alright. Unfortunately, it's raining. It'd be nice if it wasn't raining, but it's raining. So I'm just going to have to do the video to the best of my ability. I apologize to my fans and the audience if my voice is going up and down. I apologize if my voice echoes. When you're inside a restroom, your voice can go up and down with high pitch, low pitch voice, and then it echoes off the wall and it makes it sound like you're repeating yourself like a broken record. So there's not too many places or any spaces in the house for me to do a YouTube video because my dad's on the couch sleeping, and who wants to record their dad sleeping on the couch? Very rude, very disrespectful. Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Now if I go in my room, then he would wake up and accuse me of talking to myself when I'm doing a YouTube video for you guys. So there's not too many places and any spaces to do a YouTube video. So unfortunately it sucks, and plus it's gonna rain tomorrow. So yeah, you get where I'm going with this. Alright, this is gonna be a very fun, entertaining YouTube video. It is obviously boring. Let me scratch that. It's super boring. Ain't nothing on television, ain't nothing on cable. And I decided to make a fun, entertaining video. It's not going to be talking about no sex and dating. So don't be like, oh man, he ain't talking about how to get the booty. Not in this video. Sorry. This is going to be one of them fun, exciting YouTube videos where I take some of the best characters from television, film, anime, comic books, and what would happen if these characters had incredible abilities than the ones they already have. And somebody made this YouTube video about Dragon Ball Super, which is no surprise. I love anime. I've made plenty of videos. But what I've never done was made a video about my favorite anime characters. I might do that video tomorrow or Friday or Saturday, hopefully when we're back outside and I have space to roam around because we're inside a restroom. It sucks. It's embarrassing. I know. You understand the nature of the situation. Well, most of you do anyway. Now, this video is going to be called Sex Game, the top 15 superheroes that could have Ultra Instincts besides Goku. Now, in that video, they talked about 10 animated characters in the world of Dragon Ball Super that could potentially one day have Ultra Instinct, and I decided to make my own version of the video by taking 15 of the best characters, Marvel, DC, anime, video games, whatever universe they come from, and talk about the ones that could potentially have Ultra Instincts. Since it was stated in the anime of Dragon Ball Super and the Power of Tournament that Goku can't be the only one to achieve that ability, that power. As you know, the angels have that power, the gods of destruction have that kind of power. And in order to achieve Ultra Instinct, one must be clear and free of his thoughts. So I thought of some characters in different universes that are the heroes and their potential, that all these characters are just like Goku. They're all the main character of a movie, television show, whether it's an anime, video game, comic book, or anime. And these are my top 15. Now, I apologize if your favorites are not on here. you do understand that the camera that I have, it's not the best quality, okay? I can probably get 25, 30 minutes out of the camera before it cuts off. So, I apologize. If your favorites ain't on here, I understand. Now, it consists of male and female superheroes. So that way, no one accuse me of being biased, sexist, or playing favorites. You understand? I can't have too many Marvel characters on here because then they'll say I'm a Marvel fanboy because I love Marvel. And I can't have too many DC characters because then they'll accuse me of being a DC fanboy. So it has to be a fair balance, okay? So don't take it personal if your favorite Marvel or DC or anime character is not on this list. If I make a part 2, they might show up in part 2, okay? So let's get into the list. Coming in at number 15 is Sookie Stackhouse from the television show True Blood. Now, that TV show ran for 7 seasons. Now, Sookie Stackhouse is the main character. Now, there are vampires and werewolves and witches with incredible powers. And she's half human, half alien, and it's not until season 3 of True Blood that we find out she actually has powers, where she can actually blind vampires, and with the power she has, she actually can save anybody with this power. I believe they call them fairies in the world of True Blood, and Sookie Stackhouse actually has power. She did use some of her power in season 3, and then it's not until like season 5 or season 6, going into season 7, that she has more complete control of her power. And plus, she's telepathic, so she can read any man, any woman, any child's mind with her telepathic abilities. And then she can power up some type of fireball and have a flash of light that gives her a force field. So the full extent of Sookie Stackhouse power is it's unknown. We don't even know what is the percentage at the time of season 2 and season 3 of True Blood that she tapped into her power. We also found out that her power enables some vampires to walk in the sunlight, while other vampires cannot. Her blood has the ability to kill vampires, apparently. So she has a defense against supernatural creatures. Just imagine if they made a season 8 of True Blood and let the story pick up. Just think about it if Sookie Stackhouse had Ultra Instinct. You know how badass of a character she would have been had we found out the full extent? Think about it. In all 7 seasons of True Blood, we never found out the full extent of her power. We only seen like 20 to maybe 30, 45% of her hidden potential unlock. We never saw 100% of her power. And because she's half human, half alien, it makes you wonder, somewhere in the world of True Blood, a character like her could actually have Ultra Instinct and don't even know it. So coming in at number 14 is Thundercats Lion-O. Lion-O is the main character of the animated cartoon series Thundercats. Now, this anime cartoon has been around for the past 3 decades in pop culture. It popped up in the 1980s, 1990s, the 2000s. So it's been around for 3 decades. It's had comic books, graphic novels, video games, anime, posters, backpacks, trading cards, action figures, and he has an unbreakable sword. And he's basically a wildcat with incredible enhanced superhuman abilities. And it also makes you wonder, how could someone like him wield such incredible power? Now, we never see the full range of his powers either in the anime. Like season 1, he can't even control the power of the sword. It's not until season 2 and season 3 that he has anywhere between 50 to probably 60% control of the power. Now, in the final season, he still hasn't even mastered 100% of his abilities. He's like between 65 to 70%. And he has more control, but he still has not mastered 100%. Um, and that's got to make you wonder, could someone that's an animal hybrid like Lion-O from the Thundercats, could he one day achieve the ability of Ultra Instinct? I mean, he does have a sixth sense, and he does react, and when he does overthink things, he do lose fights. And when his mind is clear and focused, he's able to make better decisions without letting his mind be clouded of judgment. So you may never know. Ultra Instinct could exist in the world of Thundercats. Coming in at number 13 is Riddick from the Riddick movies, played by Hollywood actor, producer, and writer Van Diesel. Now, he made this character famous 15 years ago in Hollywood with a movie called Pitch Black, where he was an escaped convict framed for murder, and it turns out he had some enhanced abilities. He had the power, or should I say, he had the ability to walk into complete, total darkness. His eyes would glow white. Now, he was able to fight aliens, and that's what he was being used for on an alien remote planet. And it's not until the highly anticipated sequel, The Chronicles of Riddick, that we found out there was more to just his eyes glowing in the dark. It turns out that he's half human, half Furian. Translation, half human, half alien hybrid. And we discovered that he does have a degree of superhuman strength, superhuman speed, stamina, agility, and he is able to power up some type of energy projection blast and some force wave that comes out of him. But he can't control his power. You notice in the sequel, he has power, but he can only access only 50% of it. And when we get to the third movie, Riddick, he doesn't even try to even use his power, which it makes you wonder. One minute he has the power, and then the next minute the power disappears. And it it makes us wonder, does Riddick, in the universe of Riddick, could he already have Ultra Instinct? I mean, think about it. He's always in dangerous situations. He's always fighting to survive. And it just so happens to be in all three movies, he's the main character. He's the hero. And he's always fighting the bad guys, always saving the day, and he does get the girl. But when he's backed into a corner and all his options have been taken away from him, this power comes from out of nowhere, and all of a sudden he beats the bad guys on the verge of losing. So you may never know. Riddick might have the potential to unlock a power that is similar to Ultra Instinct if you just look at all three movies. Coming in at number 12 is an anime character named Sailor Moon. Now, she's a princess. Now, if you've ever seen the old 1990 animated classic Sailor Moon, you know, there's a talking cat, and she has the powers of a princess. It turns out in season 2 and season 3 of the animated series that she found out that she died 100 years ago and got reincarnated. And some of her powers had been reattained. She didn't even know at 17 or 18 years old that she even had powers. Like, she had magic power, the ability to manipulate. And if you just watch it, it's got to make you wonder, could someone like her have Ultra Instinct? Alright, coming in at number 11, it's my all-time favorite, Tommy Oliver, the Green Power Ranger from the television show Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Played by Hollywood actor and television and film, martial arts teacher turned MMA fighter, Jason David Frank, who's famous for playing this character in television and film. He is a real-life martial arts teacher, a martial artist, and an MMA fighter. If you think about it, he is the main character of the Power Rangers. Think about it. Jason was the Red Ranger, and he was the leader of the Power Rangers. And then here comes Tommy. He becomes the sixth Power Ranger, takes over the group, becomes the leader. He's the most strongest, the most powerful Power Ranger in all of Power Ranger history, and he becomes the Green Ranger. Even when he loses his powers and gets his powers back, he loses his power twice, he gets his power back twice. He gets power from Zordon that comes from another dimension. And then he becomes the second human in Power Ranger history to fight Godar without his powers. And then he gets a future version of himself from an altering timeline that shows up and gives him back his power to be the Green Ranger. So he's in a situation where he loses his powers and then he gets his powers back. Of course, he becomes the White Ranger, and then he gets enhanced abilities, and then of course he becomes the Red Ranger twice. And it seems like throughout the whole entire story of Tommy Oliver, the character keeps getting incredible powers and abilities. Every single season he gets new power, new abilities. Has to make you wonder, could Tommy be the first Power Ranger in Power Ranger history to be able to unlock a mysterious power? See, in season 2 of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, Zordon told Tommy a story about dino crystals. Fast forward 20 years later in the series Power Rangers Dino Thunder, Tommy found those dino coins that Zordon talked about in the original Power Ranger series 20 years later and unlocked a new source of power and recruited 5 teenagers to become Power Rangers. It has to make you wonder, does he have a power similar to Ultra Instinct? After all, he is the main character, and he's been in like 7 to 8 seasons of the Power Rangers television show and 2 live action movies, plus a cameo in the reboot of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Alright, coming in at number 10 is Yusuke from the animated series Goshu Hakusho. The idea that you could be a kid in high school, get hit by a car, get resurrected, and have some spirit powers, and you become a spirit detective that fights supernatural infestation, vampires, werewolves, witches, and towards, I would say maybe about 100 episodes into the animated series, Yusuke Urameshi finds out that he's half human, half demon. Not only that he has spirit power that controls his spirit, he now has demonic power. And when we get to like 107 episodes into the animated series, he tries to combine 2 different sources of power to create a third set, which that indicates, could he too unlock a deeper connection to, like, because he can't control his power, which has to beg the question, could he potentially have Ultra Instinct himself? Like, all the people he fights, he's always in a situation where either he wins the fight or he gets hurt very bad. And one of those stories, he gets killed for the second time and he resurrects himself. That seemed like he has the potential to have Ultra Instinct. I mean, that's like being Spider-Man and being a Super Saiyan at the same exact time. Yeah. Alright, next character is Buffy Summers from the television hit show Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Now, this television show ran for 7 seasons, and she is basically the Slayer who fights the forces of darkness. And her story is that she was in high school and she got picked by a Watcher. Now, they say shooting and stabbing the Slayer doesn't work, right? And we noticed that she had magic powers not once but twice. Of course, the argument is she has a witch named Willow who gave her magic. And every time Buffy gets killed, she always comes back from the dead. And she takes on strong, powerful opponents that only people like Hercules and Thor and the Avengers can beat. Buffy beats people that the average person cannot beat. And then Buffy acquires abilities faster and quicker and she gets these abilities that characters like Angel and Spike can't attain. So that's got to make you wonder. She's been in the series for 7 seasons, and plus Buffy fought the first, an ancient evil, and managed to survive. So that gotta make you wonder: could a girl have ultra instinct like Buffy? All right, coming in at number 8 is Barry Allen, The Flash. Now this television show has been on for 5 seasons. Currently, they're on season 6, with the concept that he got his powers by being struck by lightning, right? Just the idea that you get struck by lightning not once but twice, and then you get your powers back twice, and then the idea that he can connect and unconnect from the Speed Force. And then in season 2, he enhances those abilities. Season 3, he fights a clone of himself. And then in season 4, he gets all these new powers that were given to him by the Speed Force. And that has to make you wonder, if he was in the Speed Force in season 3 going into season 4, it's possible that he might already unlock a power that the Speed Force can't even give you. And it seems like every season he gets new powers. And he has the potential to, I don't know, become Ultra Instinct Flash. I mean, he already has time travel abilities. He travels to parallel universes. He gets new powers. He's able to defy the laws of physics. He does things that even speedsters should not be able to do. He does things that Reverse Flash and Zoom and Kid Flash can't do with these powers. So Barry Allen the Flash might potentially have the ability to one day unlock Ultra Instinct. I'm just saying, if you look at the story of 6 seasons. Coming in at number 7 is Neo from The Matrix. Now, we've seen all 3 movies of The Matrix. He's the main character. Now, think about it. Your life is boring. You have a normal job, no girlfriend, and then you take a pill and it changes your destiny forever. Now, at the end of the first movie, he was killed by Agent Smith, and then Trinity kisses him, and then he just comes back to life. All of a sudden, his power's unlocked, and he takes out the agents. But it isn't until the end of Matrix Reloaded that somehow he unconnected from the Matrix, where everyone else who's connected to the Matrix, if they unconnect, when they're not supposed to, they die. He unconnects, nothing happens to him because he's the one. And then some of those powers that he had in the first and second film, all of a sudden he has access to those powers in the real world. Like at the end, he stopped one of the machines with his telekinesis and had telepathy. And then towards the middle, going into the end of the third movie, he absorbed a machine inside of him, which again, he's in the real world doing this. So all of his powers somehow traveled from the Matrix into the real world. And it's not until the Oracle explains to him in Matrix 3 Revolution that the power of the One extends beyond the Matrix. So it's implied he can take these powers into the Matrix and into the real world if he wanted to. Which has to beg the question, if he can master 100% of his abilities in the Matrix and do it again in the real world, he might have the potential to one day unlock Ultra Instinct. I'm just saying, just look at the Matrix movies. Alright, next one on the list is Kenshiro Horora from the anime classic movie Fist of North Star. Now, this anime is like about 25 years old. It was made in the 1980s, and it's about a guy who has 3 brothers. His father was a highly respected martial arts champion for 10 years. Father got murdered by the mafia. His mother killed by the mafia, and him forced to fight, and he becomes undefeated. But then he gets betrayed by his 3 brothers in a future apocalyptic, future apocalypse. It's like, what if they turned Mad Max into a futuristic animated movie, and the guy's not a police officer, but he's a martial arts champion. Now, he knows martial arts, and he survived being thrown off of a mountain cliff, and 3 years later, he gets revenge on his three brothers because his oldest brother stole his girlfriend from him, and that's where the story plot thickens. And then when he defeats his brothers, they find out he knows an ancient martial arts fighting technique where if he touches you, your head explodes, and I'll just leave it at that. Gotta make you wonder, that could have been the first anime character to already achieve the ability of Ultra Instinct way before the introduction of Goku and Dragon Ball Z, and Dragon Ball Super. Coming in at number 5 is Street Fighter, another anime character who also achieved an ability very similar to that of Ultra Instinct. Now, in Street Fighter, they don't call it Ultra Instinct. They refer to that as the power of emptiness. And we find out Ryu has the potential in the movie. Street Fighter 2, he has a lot of power, but it's not until Street Fighter Alpha that he has the power of the Dark Kendo. And it's the third movie where he finally uses the power of nothingness. Some refer to it as the power of the Enlightenment. Yeah, so that's letting you know it exists in Street Fighter as well as Fist of Nerf Star. Coming in at number 4 is Blade. Now, if you just look at the Blade movies, right? He has to have some kind of ability that says he's the chosen one. I'm talking about if you look at the 3 Blade movies, not the Blade reboot, but the 3 movies with Wesley Snipes in it. See, you gotta wonder, all the other vampires that came before Blade, they've never been able to walk into the sunlight. Dracula has a lot of powers and cannot even walk into the sunlight. You know, Angel, Spike, Lestat, all of them can't walk into the sunlight, but Blade can. So that makes you wonder if he can do that. He has the potential to one day learn Ultra Instinct. Just look at the Blade movies. Those are a prime example. Alright, coming in at number 3 is Tony Stark Iron Man. Why? Just look at Avengers Endgame. No human from before in that storyline could wield the power of the Infinity Gauntlet in the cosmic power that comes from those stones. He was the only one that could wield the power. Yes, the Hulk was able to snap people back, but who was the one who defeated Thanos and snapped him and his whole army out of existence? Tony Stark Iron Man, right? And that wasn't even 100% maximum power. That was like maybe 45 or 50% of power. And of course, he paid a big price for it. But if he's willing to use that scale of cosmic power, just imagine if Iron Man learned the ability of Ultra Instinct. Just saying, the potential he has. Coming in at number 2 is Wanda, aka Scarlet Witch. Now, Scarlet Witch is about to get a huge power boost in the television show WandaVision on Disney Plus. And if you can have the power to morph reality, time, and create a new world and give people in another world mutant powers, that has to make you wonder, could Ultra Instinct already exist in the world of Marvel? Of course, some people are going to say, how come you didn't put Doctor Strange on this list? Yeah, I'm just saying. Now, coming in at number 1, the number 1 character who could have Ultra Instinct or the potential to unlock it, Luke Skywalker from the Star Wars Expanded Universe. If you just read the Star Wars comic books, not just the 3 movies of Luke Skywalker, I know people are going to say, but he was in episode 7, 8, and 9, but the comic books, he acquires Force abilities that Anakin Skywalker never got as Anakin or as Darth Vader, and he became far more powerful than Mace Windu and Yoda ever could. He had power that the Emperor tried to get but could never attain. And normally, when you turn into a Force Ghost, it has to be a ritual or you have to fight in combat and die. He didn't even die and turned into a Force Ghost. Just the idea that Luke was able to attain new Force abilities and realize 100% of his full potential has to make you wonder how much more further could the expanded universe version of Luke Skywalker from Star Wars could have gone with his powers. So maybe in the world of Star Wars, Ultra Instinct probably already exists, they just call it the Force. So these are my 15 picks of characters that either have or the potential to have Ultra Instinct in their respectable universes besides Goku. This is supposed to be a very fun, entertaining video. Till next time, peace.